this at the end of the year instead of in the season, instead of waiting until the spring when we go to the sports banquet and nobody, if you don't have kids that are playing football, you really probably don't like to sit there and listen to me talk and try to hash out something that happened 6 months before. So we kind of wanted to do this. I think more than anything, I want the kids to say something because, you know, this whole thing is not about as much about the wins and the losses. I mean, gosh, the wins and losses are a result of what we do every day in practice. You know, you have to be there every day to really know what the kids went through. If you look and you see a 6-4 season or you see a undefeated season or whatever, what we see is why and how we got to where we got. You know, this year, I think we overcame some really tough things. When you look at our season and we start off the season with a loss and we're under 500 most of the season, that's pretty tough. I mean, it mentally gets on you. And I think our seniors, this group, they had high expectations. They thought, they didn't tell me this, but I think they thought they were going to be undefeated. Am I right, Eric? Yeah, I think they came in thinking that. I knew better, because I knew that we had a tough schedule, and I'm not saying we couldn't have been, but I just knew it was going to be tough. And I don't like to look that way. I don't like to look and say, you know, we want to be undefeated, we want to do this. We have one goal, and that was get the playoffs. Because I thought if we got that as a goal, we'd have to play to our potential to get there. And I think for the most part, we did that. But it was hard to start off 0-1. I'll never forget, it's the worst week of practice when we got back here. And you talk to the other coaches, they'll tell you the same thing. It was hard. The kids didn't want to go through all that. You know, as a coach, you don't either. And I'd like to have been 1-0. Kids said, boy, they've been flying around, hitting everybody and doing everything they could to beat up on the JV kids and the scout team. But, you know, it was a little bit different after getting beat. It just seemed like the whole year was that way. We were always trying to climb up there, and then we'd get to it, and then we'd get beat the next week. Well, just so happened that 3 of the toughest teams I think we played all year were the first, third, and fifth game. And I knew it was going to be that way. I don't think it was till we were 3-3, we beat Pender. I think after that, I think our kids figured out, hey, you know, we can win these games. And that got us above 500, and I think the attitude started changing. I bring that up because this game is more about the attitude, the chemistry of our kids, their work ethic, and all those things, more than it is about talent and everything else. We had some talent. But, you know, I've seen a lot of good kids and a lot of good talent never win. I've seen that happen at schools I've been at. I've seen it in schools that we competed against. And that's what our focus is always going to be, is what are we going to do to help our team? I have the school records here from last year. I highlighted the ones that we broke this year, and I'll talk just a little bit about them, but they aren't as big a deal to me, I guess, because they don't really tell you what happened, how we got there. You know, one of the records, and it's a great accomplishment, not taking anything away from Derek Bott. Derek broke the record for most points scored in a game, and most touchdowns in a game. You know, that's great, and Derek deserved those. He did some great things. You know, he's one of those kids that got better as the season went on. We have a lot of kids that way. But you know, there's a reason he did that, and it's everybody else. That goes to John Stallberg getting his head beat in every day in practice, playing scout linebacker. You know, every practice days he didn't want to get up. You know, I'm looking here, and Jordan sitting next to him, and Josh Dahl, and same way. They didn't like Tuesday practices. They had a JV game on Monday, and Tuesday came, and we didn't give them the day off. We made them lift, and we made them be the scout team. And you know, if we got beat the week before, somebody was going to pay, and it won't be the team that beat us. It was going to be our JV kids and the next team on the schedule. So, you know, those are the things that make us do the things we do. But I think the thing I'm the proudest of is watching this group of seniors who thought they were going to be undefeated, and they get beat right away. And you know, could have given up. I think if they were honest with you, I think some of them deep down were scared to death, and they just wanted to maybe not quit, but they did give up just a little bit because they weren't sure if they had it in them to finish this thing out. I know that when we were 0-1 and 1-2 and 2-3, I could see those looks in their faces. They weren't sure they were cut out for all this. But you know, they stuck together. I saw some attitudes change in some kids. You know, one of the toughest things you'll ever do is have to be a leader. You know, I guess there's a big argument whether leaders are born or leaders are made. And I believe that the leaders are made because the kids look to somebody. Everybody's going to look to somebody else. And I think our leaders were our seniors the second half of the season. And I think our kids did a great job of sticking together. And I'm proud of you for doing that. We could have given up and we didn't. You know, I look back too and I hear this, I heard some people saying, gosh, we could have done this, could have done that. That'd been nice, but it didn't work that way, and we take whatever we get. I think if anything you guys have to realize is this is just step one in life. Life dealt Eric Shear a blow that he wasn't planning on. He was planning on playing this season. You know, if I had to go back and look at somebody who worked as hard as anybody, Eric did. I remember him last year. He told me, I'll do anything you want. I'll play anywhere you want. I'll whatever number. He even said he'd wear something other than 21. I got that for him just to shut him up. But no, he really wanted to play. He was so excited. And you know, the worst thing I'd do is have him tell me in my office he wasn't going to play. And I wasn't thinking about me. I wasn't thinking about, gosh, who am I going to get to play for him? I was thinking about Eric. It wasn't fair. You know, I look at Tyler Spiel. I guarantee you, Tyler Spiel wanted to be undefeated this year. Because he told me so many times last year and over the summer, I'm always cautioning some things. And you know, Mike Smith, he wasn't sure what we were going to do. I mean, and I'm talking, we ran the gamut from guys who did this, did whatever. But you know, my job as a coach and the other coaches, our job was to take the talent we have, work every day, and I think that's what the kids did. And that made a big difference. You know, I look here and some guys played positions they'd never played before. We have some people that didn't touch the field as much as other people. Well, I'm sorry, but life's going to do that to you guys. It's going to cheat you a lot. You just got to, you don't get used to it. You cinch up your belt, pull up those bootstraps, and get to work. Someone does that to you, then you do something for yourself. You do something to make yourself better. You don't like the way it treated you, then do something about it. And I think you did that this year. And I appreciate that. I think what I really look forward to is looking back someday and having you tell me that this happened in your life and something that you did in football or basketball or anything in high school in an athletic event taught you something about life. You know, I think football did. We had a couple games, football taught us something. That you don't give up in life. That happened the third game of the season. We didn't give up, but we thought Bergen was just going to give us that game. And I don't think we played as hard that last series. And every one of you, I think, would agree and tell me that. But you know what? When we got to Tecumseh, you could have folded, could have laid down and said, I've had it. Don't want to do this anymore. I can't take it. Don't ever do that. You'll always regret it. Now you don't have to regret that because you stuck with it, came back, and you know, that was one of the funnest games I've been in a long time. And I think it was for you guys too. So I wish you well, and I just hope that you remember, football is a lot of fun. These people don't know how much fun it is because they aren't practiced. I love practice. I love that stuff. Some of these guys just like the games. But you know, practice is one of those necessary evils, and I think that's Friday night. It's just like it's like I'm handcuffed. You know, you can't do anything. And that's the way it's going to be, and life's going to treat that to you. It's going to do that to you sometimes when you don't have a choice. That you've got what you got. And I hope that what we did this year, the previous years, will teach you something about that. And I appreciate all the work that you put in. Just a couple things about records. I mentioned that Derek did break the record for touchdowns in a game with 5 and points in a game, which would be 30. Heath broke the passing yards record. Andrew Beck held that, and Brad Dahl from 1992 and 99. That was 780, and I don't have my, how do you? I think we ended up, anybody remember? Coach Dunklow?
810.
801 yards. So he did break that record. Congratulations. But congratulations to everybody else because it's a team effort. And I think that's the thing that we have to remember. I do have, for the seniors and then some of the others that want them, the stats for the season. You can take this. If anybody else wants them, I'll do that. If you want a copy of the game films, bring in the tapes. You probably need 2 tapes, and I'll dub those off for you, and you'll have those. We missed a couple plays in the Tecumseh game, but I did call Tecumseh, and they're supposed to be sending me the film, so maybe they'll have the whole thing. Other than that, that's about all I have. I do want to have the seniors come up and just say something. I told them that, look at them, they're just nervous about me crying. Life again, just rearing its ugly head. I just wanted to say something about, the football season that they'll always remember, but not about the scores of games, those things. I'm talking about with their teammates. I mean, that's what this is all about. I hope they remember that. And I either want you to say something about that or give some advice to these younger kids. We're going to start over again. I think there's a group of our kids, too, that I have been pushing them to go on and do something athletically. I think for a couple of reasons. One, it helps you get through school. And it does help pay for that somewhere down the line. More than that, it keeps you out of trouble. It gives you back.
Like, we thought we could do better, but I'll take what we got. The playoffs were great. I had a fun time. I wouldn't have anybody else. This football team was great. I wouldn't have wanted to share it with anybody else. It was wonderful. And we did a lot of great things. A lot of people didn't think we were going to do. And I was proud that we did that. We showed people that we had the ability to take us to the playoffs and all that great stuff. Mr. Ivy, he came in here 2 years ago, and he saw some talent, and I don't know if he really expected us to be this good, go 8-1 at first season, and then go 6-4 to the playoffs in the second round. But I just want to say thank you, Mr. Ivy, and all the coaches. Thanks.
Say that we worked really hard for what we deserved. Our season didn't start in August. Our season started right when school got out last year. Both of us hit the weight room pretty hard, and that's my advice to other classmen. Hit that weight room hard. It really helps. You'll be able to feel the kids in play next year. And the thing that I remember most about this season is when the last game at Bergen, I walked off the field. I saw everybody in the stands, the balloons, everybody was still cheering even though we were down 20 points. Now, there was no hope. I'm sure none of that knows. Said so far. We had a great season this year. I know all of us would like one a little further, but I guess that's just what happens. The season didn't start the way we wanted it to, but I think that helped us because it got us motivated to not lose any more games and to work harder. Everybody this year seemed to work real hard, and I hope you guys keep working hard at it, and I hope we have something coming out and watch next year.
First of all, I'd like to thank the coaches. They were great. They pushed us to our limits. We shared our best. We had a good work ethic. The underclassmen really pushed us hard. And I thank you very much for that. You guys should have a good team next year if you hit the weights. And it was just a great season. I'll never forget it. Even though we had some losses that we didn't want to have, we still hung in there and we got to the playoffs. It was fun. I'll never forget it.
Well, first of all, I want to say good luck to next year's team. All the seniors know you guys are going to do excellent. Proving it to us, especially on scout team defense. You guys got pretty smart by the end of the season. Mr. Ivy would always say, this is the last play, and you'd be ready for the middle screen. Then we changed up and started last on when you call last play. Running more plays than running middle screen at you.
But another thing is, Mr. Aggie would always say one thing to us. He would never let us play less than our best. And I know he didn't let us do that. So, if you keep listening to him and all the rest of the coaches, you guys will be fine.
I want to thank all the coaches. We couldn't have done it without you guys. I know we all tried, our best. We had some things happen this season and we didn't want to, but we played through it. Like Coach tell us, adversity, but you want to play. Some game time, everybody put your game face on and play hard. Don't let up. Keep playing hard. Good things happen. I know for us this year, the season started in the weight room. If we wouldn't have showed up 40th week there, we would have never made playoffs. And they just got to keep the determination and keep playing hard. It's going to come out the best. Thanks for a good season, guys.
The whole season was fun. No one thought we were going to make it to the playoffs, but we did. Went wrong. And practices were fun. Even when Chavez complained about how hard Snyder did it before. It was all fun. I just want to thank the coaches and the scout team. Just a big help about it.
First of all, I gotta thank everybody on this year's team. Wouldn't trade any one of you guys in the world. You guys are great, and you made us what we are. So I gotta thank you for that. Gotta thank the coaches, Mr. Aggie, Mr. Dunlop, Mr. Gravy, Curtis, for all the sacrifices they made and all the dirty looks that they got from some of us. They made us do something we didn't want to do. And I know they said it earlier that Mr. Aggie wouldn't let us do anything less than our best. And sometimes he threatened to make us go home from practice early, and that was the last thing we wanted to do. You can believe that, because we didn't want to have to show up the next day and face that. So we just had a lot of fun this year, and I just want to thank everybody involved with the team. It was great.
Well, they pretty much said it all. I just want to thank the rest of you guys for a good season and being there to help us get better. I want to thank the coaches for putting up with us. Encouraging us to do better each game. Thank all the parents for showing up and helping us.
I'd like to thank everybody in this room, because if you're here, that means you supported us. Thank you for that. Thanks for coming to all our games, the away games even, all the way up to Stanton, Bergen twice. My teammates, thank you. Without you guys, it wouldn't have meant as much. One of you was gone, it didn't mean as much. It was the most fun I've ever had. Thanks a lot. Coaches, every one of you coaches taught me something different over the years. Thank you all for that. Everyone said the weight room is a big part of everything, but that's only half of it. You gotta do it on the field too. You got great coaches, great group of players. I think you guys will get it done from here on out. Believe in you, pulling for you. If I have one regret, it's one regret for the whole year is I'm sorry that no one else but the players got to see Schlieder run the guard around him. So maybe someday.
Okay, a couple little things here. I'd like to thank the coaches too. You know, I got thinking about how much time they have to put in here and put up with me, and I'm pretty stubborn about, I think I know what's best for us. That's what we do. And, you know, I get a lot of help from them. Like Curtis, you know, here he works another job and then tries to come up here and get off work. Those are hard things to do, and I appreciate him doing that. Eric, he's trying to get me to throw the ball every play. But, no, he's getting better now. He's about to run the ball occasionally too. So anyway, but I appreciate it. And, you know, someday he's going to be head coach, probably right here. That's my endorsement. He'll probably have my job here pretty soon. So. Pat, I'd like to thank Pat. He doesn't get paid. Carol just found it out the other day. So it'll be a little something for you. Might need some white shoes and white belt. Anyway, you know, I would like to thank them because they have put a lot of time in. I'd like to thank the wives too, because Carol especially, because she's not seeing Pat and she's not seeing him and not getting paid. Lori and Dee, and girlfriends, I guess.
Girlfriends.
Anyway, I'd like to thank the parents too. The support has just been fabulous. And I think the thing is, you know, somebody asked me one time, what can I do to help my kid? I'll tell you what you can do to help your kid. Us coach them, and you encourage them. You know, that sounds so simple, but I think that's what you do pretty well. I think you do encourage them, and that doesn't mean that you don't know anything. I'm already thinking about making some changes next year. One of the changes, I think I want to be on the other sideline. I like being on the other sideline. First of all, it's quieter. Secondly, I can see Susie's defense. She wants to get that up there, so we might go there. And then thirdly, this way I can not only have help from the statisticians as to what to run, but also the chain game. They can help me out too. I'm really thinking if I can get all those guys, I'll get her straightened up and probably be undefeated. You know, I guess that's the advice I'd give you is please keep encouraging your kids. You encourage your kids to, you know, I know you want them home, and we do talk about, I want them home to see their parents. But, you know, if they're not at home, and they're not in the weight room, they're doing something they're not supposed to, trust me. We need to keep them doing these good things. I didn't mean to fight like that. I guess what I'm saying is, the time they're away from home, there's some social time there, but you know, if you ever want to be good at something, it takes some work. It takes some work in the weight room, and it does. It takes a lot of sacrifice. A lot of you guys sacrifice that time. But that's what it takes. I mean, guys, you guys in your jobs, if you aren't competitive, you're not going to last. Somebody else is going to want that job. And I tell the kids that too. If you want to win, you got to do something about it. It's not going to float down and we have some little fairy that sprinkle dust over the field, you know, everything's going to be good. You look at the things we had to go through this year. You know, I didn't mention Andy. He didn't plan on the season ending the way it did. He didn't get to finish out. Nate Baca got hurt, didn't plan on some of those things. Greg last year sat out the whole year. Those things happen. But I think the thing you have to know is that it takes work to do that. That's why you got to the state finals last year in basketball, because you worked together. Somebody was a leader, somebody was a follower, and the rest of you got out of the way. And that's what it takes. And I think we'll have another good basketball season. The one thing I want to impress on people here is that we talked about this. I'm the football coach, but you know, I'm coaching, not football players, I'm coaching the athletes at Scribner Snyder. They just happen to play football. And this winter, they're going to wrestle or play basketball. And in the spring, they're going to run track. Golf. I love golf. And unless you can score points for us, you're out there for another reason. You know, I do have some golfing tip for you here. If you're going to throw clubs, make sure they're not your driver and your putter. You can at least finish the game with that thing. You know, they're athletes, and we appreciate them. They work hard, and I'm looking forward to next year. I said last year, if things worked out, we could be better than we were last year. We'd be better this year than we were last year. I don't know if we're better. I just know we got to where we wanted to go. But I hope that's not enough for the underclass. We lose all of our offensive linemen. We got young kids coming in there. I tell you what, you guys know what I think about potential. That's all it is, potential. Just sit there. We need somebody to step up and get in gear. We have some experience back too, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great basketball and wrestling season. If you're not out for one of those, I'll be after you. And then when trap comes, we're gonna win a state championship in trap. All it takes is to get you guys out of there.
Yeah.
And some of you will go, but not all of you. All right? Thank you for coming. Coaches, did you guys want to say anything? Eric wanted to, and I wouldn't let him. No. Any of you ladies, you got anything to add?
No,
Susie?
thanks for coming.
Jeff?
Yeah. Oh, hey, I do.
We'll be here for a few minutes. Jeff?
I do.
I just want to thank you guys for keeping these guys from local life. I think that is so important. And we try to do our best at home, but they look up to you more than they look up to the parents. So just want to thank you and for everything you did.
Don't do as I do, don't do as I say.
We want to take a picture of the boys with the plaque.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you for coming.